What's going on, Cowboys Nation? How y'all doing, man? I just got up real early in the morning, get ready to do my morning workout. And one of my rituals that I like to do before, I'm getting ready to work out or start my day is really watch Cowboys talk out there. And you guys know Mark Holmes, I'm really close with that guy. Go over his house every Sunday. So I took the opportunity to watch his video on Will McClay yesterday. And he brought up some very valid points about, Jerry Jones stepping down as GM. I'm going to start with where I disagree. I disagree that the Cowboys have to change the operation under which they're working right now, because I think that it's working the best that it's worked in a very long time, as far as, Jerry not even really commenting after games so much, or, Jerry really, maybe he's giving a few updates on injuries and stuff like that, but nothing's been detrimental as far as what Jerry has done to this team this year. But as far as the operation goes, and Will McClay and Mike McCarthy, I think it's important, and this is where I agree, I think it's important to keep Will McClay, because I believe he works hand in hand with these coaches out here. And the reason that I say that is, when you look at this roster looks completely different than when Garrett used to coach it. The operation looks completely different than when Garrett used to coach it. But we know that Will McClay's still here. We know that Jerry's still here. We know that Steven's still here. So what's different? It's Mike McCarthy. And what Mark brought up that was great was that he said Mike McCarthy said that Will McClay is very instrumental in how he handles things, with how Mike McCarthy wants things. So what it lets me know is that Will McClay is the perfect buffer between Jerry and the head coach. And his role is to, bring in talent and to maintain the talent and developing it. Really, if you think about it, since Will McClay has been pretty good, I believe Mark is right. You have to elevate Will McClay to GM. The reason you have to do that is you have to keep these teams off your back every offseason. At some point, when you're doing a good thing, you have to be able to maintain the people around that are responsible for it. And I think Will is very instrumental, like Mike McCarthy said, in that. So you have to assign him as GM, because while you have him in the position you do right now, that gives teams out there that are tired of losing to you, that are tired of not really developing talent or finding the talent that they need, it gives them all the ammo to just offer him a bigger bag, bigger responsibility. And no matter what you say, you're not in that role for this long if you don't want if you don't want the love. Now, I say that as a person who has coached football for a very long time. And what I will say is, you'll want to be somewhere that you are appreciated. You want to go somewhere where the love just comes to you, to where it's not where you just got to keep going. To where it's like, all right, let me clear it up. You want to be in a place where it's undeniable that you are appreciated. And I'm not saying that the Cowboys don't appreciate him, because I think that they do. But if somebody's coming and offering you a bigger bag, more responsibility, and they just are coming after you, it's a lot harder to not look at those situations, if you get what I mean. Because Will, as hard as he's worked in his career, he owes it to himself to scope out these situations. One day, the situation is just going to be much better than what he has in Dallas, and it's going to be almost impossible for him to turn down. One day that's going to happen. But with Jerry stepping down as GM, the only way that happens is if he fires Will McClay. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way that it stops. Because what I will say is, the Cowboys don't have the best football operation in the world. There's somebody out there that probably has, and when I say that, I mean, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily the best fit for Will McClay. Somebody might step down somewhere in another organization that is a perfect fit for him. You know, people grow every day. And one day, Will McClay, he may have already outgrown what he's doing in Dallas, but one day he's going to outgrow that, and he's going to be ready to stretch his legs. Why not let him stretch his legs in Dallas? He's been here. He's proven. He's done everything necessary to really earn that title. So it's really time to just make it official, man. And like I said, Jerry, if you want to be in front of the camera, if you don't want to be in front of the camera, whatever, however you guys want to keep the organization the way it is, you can still do so. The only thing that would change is that you keeping people off your back. Because trust me, as a Cowboy fan right now, a lot of us are uncertain about the future. We don't know if Dan Quinn is going to go somewhere else, because guess what? Dan Quinn is a defensive coordinator. So that leaves the opportunity for teams to come in and get Dan Quinn. Same thing with Kellen Moore. You can't afford to lose all three of them. You know what I'm saying? You can't afford to lose all three of them this offseason. And guess what? They're going to be hot names, because there's a lot of coaches that got fired, and there will be a lot of GMs getting fired as well. So you got to solidify things. Go ahead, do right by Will McClay, and just make him the GM. But appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. And what I will say is, give your comments on it, man. How do you guys feel about it? I know for the most part, the fan base has been tired of Jerry Jones anyway. You know what I'm saying? The fan base has been tired of Jerry Jones being the GM and doing all the interviews and being in all the videos. We've been tired of Jerry Jones being Puff Daddy for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's right that Will McClay really, I think he's earned that title. It's not even a think. It's not even a think at this point. I know Will McClay has earned it. Whether or not he lives up to it after being named the GM, you know, that's another story. But at this point, man, I just think you got to solidify things for the future. And I think that's where you start. You know, you start right there. Appreciate you guys. Oh, and before I go, man, you know, Mark is doing that big push right now to get me to 5,000 subs. And right now we're at about 4,300. So the deal that I made on his channel was, if Mark can get me to 5,000 or help me get to 5,000 subscribers through the playoffs, I'll do this hot chip challenge, man. And you know, I don't duck nothing. I ain't ducking nothing. Just like I ain't ducking the 49ers. I ain't ducking the 49ers talk. So if that's what y'all want to do, go ahead, share this channel. Make sure you get these likes up, and let's get that algorithm going. And you know, I'm not afraid of the smoke. Literally. Let's get that chip challenge popping. All right, y'all. Peace.